for more of a recap and interviews with the potential class winners. Welcome back to Mount Panorama. Well, the scene, as you can see it, we've got literally thousands of people beneath the James Hardy presentation area. I think everyone there wants to shake the hand of Dick Johnson, the winner of the 1981 James Hardy 1000 Classic. Well, it's been a day of jubilee as far as jubilation, I should say, as far as Dick Johnson is concerned. One team manager who thought they were in there with a big shot for 6th place was Frank Gardner, the manager of the JPS team, and he's trackside at the moment with Gary Wilkinson.
Well, Frank, you've been involved in some very dicey motor racing situations in your career, but that this afternoon was absolutely frightening.
Yes, Gary, it's the only third time in my career in 30 years that I've ever seen a motor race actually stopped, and a pretty wise decision because the track wouldn't have been much good after it, and it just would have led to more trouble, and you cut your losses at this stage, hard as it may be on the spectators, and one can only commiserate with the people that were involved in it, because it's really nobody's fault in a thing like that. It just gets out of hand so quickly, and it can happen on the first lap or the 10th lap or the last lap. It's always on.
In those situations, it really is just a fraction of a second between drivers escaping without serious injury, as most of the drivers appear to have done, except perhaps Kevin, who may have some trouble with a hip. There's only a fraction of a second between that and something completely disastrous.
Well, fortunately, the part of the circuit that it happens on is a critical part of the circuit, but it's not such a high-speed part of the circuit. Any accident down the back straight at 160 mile an hour is a fatal one, but of course there it usually adds up to car damage and body damage. Everybody appreciates the fact it is a dangerous section. There's no two ways about that, and it's driven on the limit. But on the limit is not such a speed that it's going to create a tragedy except on vehicles.
It was an unfortunate situation for the JPS BMW because despite a few little dramas with Alan and even with David Hobbs, you were in good shape.
No, we'd seen ourselves in third spot in the early part of the race. Then we'd slowly... we'd lost 12 laps, fell back to 26th place and worked our way back up to 6th place again by the time the accident came. And I suppose we looked like we'd inherit a few other places as time went on. But it's only fair that I suppose Gricey should visit the sand, because Johnny Smith, his co-driver last year, went in second position, wound in the bunker, as they say in golf. And I think Gricey beat him in there by about 5 feet.
OK, Frank, well, thanks very much for joining us. Frank Gardner, a man who knows the dangers of motor racing and knows that the wise decision was made, and was one of the people that was happy to see the race had been halted and a result declared. Now, I also have Fred Gibson here with me at the moment, so I might have a quick word with him while we have the opportunity, because Fred, Christine was involved in that altercation, and when you got the news, I mean, you really must have, your hair must have stood on end. Yes,
Gary, it was a pretty nasty sort of move, I suppose, but the thing is, when you build a race car these days, you build them very strong. Had a good roll cage in it, so I was quite sort of, you know, happy in my own mind that nothing was going to be wrong with it, really. So, but it was a nasty accident, really. One that's really stopped the race the first time, hasn't it?
Now, where is Christine at the moment?
She's up laying down. She's quite all right. She's got a bit of a sore chest. Nothing serious at all. Had a doctor look at her. She's okay.
Has she been able to give you some coherent account of what occurred?
Oh, well, I think we could say that her and Bobby Morris had a bit of a coming together. And she, like Bob's given her a touch in the tail, and she's gone around, had a lose. I think that's when the camera catches it, the happenings from then on, sort of thing, and Bob's gone in the front of it and around the side of it and brought the whole field down. Just an unfortunate incident, really, I think.
Well, I think Christine and all the other drivers involved have been very lucky under the circumstances.
Yes, I think so, being such a big accident and such a high speed you're doing there, Gary. So you'll be doing 120 mile an hour, I suppose, there. You're flat in third gear in a Falcon, which is fairly quick in a big car, and when something like that happens and so you're in half a spin or something, or a loser we call it, you can't do much about it but hang on and hope for the best.
Well, Christine's one of our favourite motor racing ladies, and we're just thankful that she's okay.
Thanks very much, Gary.
Fred Gibson.